Today we are going to ask the cards going into the Thanksgiving season, what do we need to know about gratitude? What do we need to know about gratitude as we head into Thanksgiving? Or even, what do we need to be grateful for? Oh, okay. Here we go. Oh, all right, grief. This is the second time in like 2 days that I've pulled a grief card from 2 different decks, so... All right, so this is the grief card, and this is what we need to know going into Thanksgiving and into winter, I think. And it's interesting, this is actually the Banshee on this grief card. So what do we need to be grateful for going into Thanksgiving, and what does grief have to teach us? And I think the lesson here is about letting go. And that was a big theme when I was talking about and working with grief the other day, is that in grieving, you are letting go of something. And that could be an idea of yourself. That could be something that you thought was working and it isn't. So grief itself is the feeling of obviously being sad about having to let go of something. But the message that I'm also getting is that it's also important to eventually let go of the grief as well. And so I think that the grief card is telling us that we need to be grateful for the times that we had with whatever it is that we've lost. We've experienced some sort of loss, but we can be grateful for what was good when it was good. But that it's very important to grieve the loss of something that we cared about, whether that was a person, a relationship, an ideal, or in some cases even a job, that you had to let go of. I think that grief is the act of letting go of that thing, and that we can be grateful for this process of letting go. And this is the season to set things down. As we move into Thanksgiving, as we move into winter, the whole point of this season is to rest, reflect, and heal. And that means letting go of things that we're holding on to. Because if grief goes on too long, then we're holding on to the thing that is gone, and we're also holding on to the grief. So I think that the message that we're getting today, as hard as it is to let go of things and take the time this season to do the work. Because it's work, it is. But to do the work to set down the things that aren't working for us anymore as well. So something that you thought might work out, a path that you thought you'd be on, an idea of something that just didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Take the time this season, Thanksgiving and winter, to do the work that you need to do, the internal work, the self-work, to set that down and let it go. Oh, big, big, powerful message. All right, so again, heading into Thanksgiving, maybe this one will be a little bit happier, but what does the universe want to tell us about family? Because the way we celebrate Thanksgiving in the U.S. is it's very much about family and togetherness and gratitude for community. So what do we need to know about family? And we just drew the disconnection card. And this is obviously a solitary figure. And I'm getting 2 messages from this. One of which is that I think some of you might be disconnected from community. And I think that the disconnection card is a really good reminder to let yourself have community and to let yourself connect with community. And not just let yourself. Sometimes this might be a reminder to make yourself reconnect with community. And my sister and I were actually talking about this the other day, and, we go through our own hermit phases where we need to be alone and reflect and heal, but sometimes those can go on too long and we can find ourselves disconnected from our friends and loved ones. And it's good to be intentional about re-entering that community and recognizing that you're feeling this disconnect and to address that. And so that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, is that as we move into this time of family and connection, if you're feeling disconnected from a community that's healthy for you, then reconnect with that. But I also think the disconnection card has another message for some of you out there in the collective. And I think that other message is it's okay to disconnect from things that don't serve you. Just like we talked about with the grief card, sometimes disconnection is, hey, give yourself permission to make healthy choices for yourself and disconnect from things that are unhealthy, that don't serve you, that make you feel bad. You know, just because it's a time of family and connection doesn't mean to reconnect with toxic people, even if you love them. Maybe you need to let them go. And maybe you need to force some disconnection. So I think, you know, as always, there's a couple different ways we can see things, and only you know what's right for your life. But I think that is what we're hearing from this message so far, is to be okay with letting go of things and be grateful to set things down that don't work for you. And sometimes that means if you've got family or a friend circle who hurts you in some way or is toxic, then yeah, set that down, right? Just grieve what you thought you had, but be okay with that disconnection. So just really sit with that. And I think we all need to figure out where things are serving us in our lives and where we need to redirect energy towards those things, like healthy community, and where things aren't serving us, just relearning how to set those things down and grieve them, and then let go of that grief as well. So I think that's a big, intense message as we enter this holiday and family season. I think that's huge. And so let's ask the card again for something a little brighter maybe, which is what can we look forward to in this holiday season? What can put a smile on our face? What's good, yo? I think that's the question now, is what's good? What's coming? I'm going to choose to take this card in a lighthearted way because we drew the hunger card, which is epitomized by a vampire, which is that like driving hunger. And so, you know what? I'm just going to say, hey, this Thanksgiving season, this holiday season, eat. Feed yourself, nourish your body, nourish your soul, whatever's driving your hunger, feed it. This holiday season, just do it. As long as it's not unhealthy, right? Because we're saying goodbye and setting down toxic and unhealthy habits. But yeah, just definitely a lot of people love the eating part of the holidays. And like I said, I'm choosing to interpret this in a lighthearted way. So yes, let yourself give in to that hunger during this holiday season, whatever it is that you hunger for, as long as it's not super, super toxic for you. So don't slip into bad habits. I think you know what I mean when I say bad habits. Don't do that. That's not what the card's telling us. All right, that was fun, but I think we need a palette cleanser with some angel messages after that, because that was a bit heavier of a reading than I was expecting. Sometimes it works out that way, but let's pull an angel card and see what the angels are telling us. There's my cat howling in the background. She's telling us something too. All right, we got two cards that jumped out. 8-8. You can see here, which is you are on the cusp of a prosperous and abundant spiritual life. Oh, love that. You will find numerous opportunities for success and achievement, all of which bring financial and material abundance into your life. Okay, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. And the card 8-8 is I am wealthy. So that is a great message from the angel cards today. Thank you. So we're doing some heavy spiritual and family work over there, but our rewards are this fulfilling and rewarding spiritual and material growth. Okay. And then the second card that we got, this is a fun one, is 21, which is I am inspiring. So that's the second angel card that jumped out at the same time as the first. You are highly creative with a strong will to succeed. You are. Your imagination is highly charged. It reveals itself in everything you do, from sparkling conversation to your most prized projects. Oh, what an inspiring message. I love hearing that. Okay, so those are our messages for this Thanksgiving and holiday season. And as always, take what resonates and just set down and let go of what doesn't. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday and make good choices with your disconnection, your grief, your hunger, and your spiritual and material growth. I'll see you in the next one.